Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Going to read through the full article. There's a link in the description. It is tragic. It involves the 15-month-old girl that you see in front of you here. She has died of fentanyl poisoning. Her parents deny ever taking the drug, ever having the drug, fentanyl. However, they are criminals and heroin users. So there is that. So we're going to have a look through the full details. Autopsy results released 4 months after a 15-month-old Florida girl's death reveal that she died from fentanyl poisoning, and investigators are now trying to figure out how the deadly drug got into the baby's home. I would look at the drug addicts myself, personally, but you know, I won't interfere with the investigation, of course. Ivy White's father, 32-year-old Caleb White, 32 years old, left for work at 10 p.m. on October the 4th, 2021, leaving the baby girl in the care of the mother, Danielle Zanuck, 26 years of age. Ivy, the baby, 15-month-old, was fine when he left. Zanuck, the mother, said she and Ivy fell asleep about midnight, and she woke up at about 5 a.m. when the father, Caleb White, came home from work early. He had an odd feeling something was wrong at home. At that point, Ivy, the baby, was unresponsive and the parents called 911. An ambulance arrived at 5:10 a.m. and rushed Ivy to the hospital, arriving 20 minutes later. By then, the autopsy report said Ivy's temperature had dropped to 90 degrees and she was vomiting. She was pronounced dead just before 6 a.m. The mother and the father told investigators they had not communicated with each other before the father came home from work. Both of them denied they used drugs and said they had never used fentanyl. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office has since applied for a search warrant to review the parents' Facebook accounts. Facebook's Messenger app is their primary means of communication, and detectives say they believe the couple's messages will help them determine how fentanyl got into the home and subsequently into the baby girl. Both the mother and the father were arrested on unrelated charges on December the 7th. The mother was charged with possession of heroin and cocaine, yet she was released. The father was charged with grand theft for allegedly trying to steal tools and then pawn them. He was released on probation but arrested again February the 22nd when he was spotted on surveillance video stealing thousands of dollars of equipment from a parked pickup truck, according to the arrest report, which said he was stealing the equipment to buy crack cocaine. That's odd, because I'm quite sure that they both denied using drugs. So that's odd that the mother was charged with possession of both heroin and cocaine, and odd that the father was arrested twice for stealing under the belief that he was stealing thousands of dollars worth of equipment in order to buy crack cocaine. So they're saying, hey, we don't do drugs. The evidence seemingly points to the opposite. A judge withdrew the father's probation, and he was charged with drug possession, burglary of an unoccupied vehicle, dealing in stolen property, and grand theft. He's now being held without bond. Well, thankfully, the father's being held, but I don't understand why the mother was released. I mean, presumably because she's only at this point being charged with possession of heroin and cocaine. She has not yet been charged with any wrongdoing in regards to the death of her 15-month-old child, Ivy. And to be clear, the father at this point hasn't been charged with the 15-month-old girl's death either. They both claim to not be drug users, yet they've both been arrested in possession of drugs. How peculiar is that? I mean, it's almost as if they're full of shit. It's almost as if they're liars and you couldn't take their word. I'm going to wrap this video up at this point. If you do like the video, do consider watching another of mine.